Ducks. Redux. Ducks. Redux. Ducks. Redux. Hello and welcome to another episode of Last Call Games, where today we're taking a look at Ducks on the Sega Dreamcast, which is to my left, to your right. And we're also going to compare it to Redux, which is the remake slash sequel on the PC. It was also, I believe, released on the Dreamcast, as well as I want to say the PS3 and Xbox 360, but I'm not 100% certain. That game will be above me. So, what is Ducks? Well, Ducks is a horizontally scrolling spaceship shooter. This is Ducks 1.5, which is it says revised, rebalanced, and Redux, which is ironic because the sequel is named Redux. But it's like a tweaked version, I believe, of the original game. I got this in a pack with another game that I'll probably do another review on later. But I'll talk about that later. Right now we're at the first boss of the game. Stage 1 seems to remind me an awful lot of R-Type, especially the very first stage of R-Type. But this boss sometimes has two forms and sometimes only has one. When I was playing through on Ducks 1.5 for the first time, when I beat the first stage, it just went straight to stage 2 of the game, not the boss. This is stage 2, which has this interesting little effect where the waterfalls that you see here actually push your ship down. You can kind of notice it when I'm flying through them, that you get a little water effect and your ship actually pushes down a little bit. So I didn't notice it the very first time that I played through it. But back to this game. This game has been remade multiple times. The very first version was just called Ducks. Then they remade it, rebalanced it. Supposedly made it easier because it's a very difficult game. It has 6 stages. I could only make it through stage 3 on each one. So they did the rebalancing. I think they added a lot of checkpoints, because Redux 1.5 has quite a bit more checkpoints than Redux, I noticed. And 1 and 1.5, as well as version 1.1, which I think is 1.5 with 1.0's music, were Dreamcast exclusives. Redux was released on the Dreamcast as a Kickstarter exclusive. Now they have Redux 1.1, which they fixed some things of, I'm not sure what. But Redux was released on multiple platforms. Here, the Steam version, which obviously looks a lot better than it's much more advanced hardware. And the boss of stage 2 looks completely different. Well, actually I think it's just more of a palette swap. And you see right here, in Redux, it has this interesting bullet sponge feature, where you can put a little circle around yourself and it will draw enemy projectiles into your front thing. So that doesn't work with things like the lasers, the stupid lasers. I hate those lasers. Now we're up to stage 3. With the lasers that bounce and swing to always hit you no matter what. So, yeah, as I said, this is the furthest that I actually made it in the game, in either game. I actually made it up to the boss of both of them, and then lost all my continues. But you can see both games have very similar, if not actually identical, stage layouts, which makes Redux is more of an enhanced remake, I would say, of Dux as opposed to a sequel. But yeah, now we're up to getting up to the boss. The timing is a little off because it seems like Redux seems to be a little slower than Dux 1.5. I'm not 100% certain why. But yeah, this is the end. So both of them, the games are very good, and I would definitely consider getting, especially Redux, because I mean I got it in a bundle for like $250 with like 5 other games or something. So, and Dux 1.5, if you're really big into the Dreamcast, it's good. It would be good to support this game, support new developers. This game came out in 2013, which was 11 years after the very last Dreamcast game came out in the U.S. So, NHL 2K2, which I did my very first review on, which I'll link to that. Maybe I'll have an annotation like right on top of my face. So, yeah, I would say they're both good games. So definitely check this one out if you're really into the Dreamcast. I got this one in the bundle that I mentioned earlier with Alice's Mom's Rescue, a brand new game that HughCast has just come out with. It ended up being about $50 shipped. It was €30 plus shipping, and shipping from Germany is not easy. So that's it for this. Now you may notice I'm a little beardier than usual. Usually I try and shave before these videos, but that's because I'm growing a beard very slowly for charity. NHL playoffs have just started, and my team, the Blackhawks, are in. So I'm growing a beard for charity. If you would like to pledge or grow your own beard, I'll link to my page in the description in the Beardathon. And other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon in the next video.
This game is definitely not Tony Hawk. It looks pretty good for a Dreamcast game, with a pretty good little particle effect on the snow that your board carves out. And the environments are fairly large, relatively linear, but that's to be expected. Though that does bring about quite a bit of loading. And they look pretty good as well. The races themselves could look a little better, but I'll assume the races took a bit of a hit for the scope of the races.